Hello, welcome to CottonByte. Those demos you just saw were all done with the LTX workflow. Hard to believe, right? Because it used to love churning out those artsy slow burn drama scenes, or everything came out with a built-in slow-mo vibe. But after some serious tweaking, it can now spit out fast-paced martial arts combat like you just saw, and I didn't speed up or edit a single frame. That's straight out of LTX 2.3. Looks amazing. This is a custom node made by a Bilibili creator called Licon Lab, named Licon MSR. In simple terms, it's an automatic little helper that bundles your loose reference images into a guiding video. The core goal of this tech is to solve the crazy difficult multi-subject consistency problem in AI video generation. It cleverly packs several static reference images into a pseudo-video that acts as the model's visual memory and reproduce multiple independent visual elements without any complex plugins. It can seamlessly blend 2 to 5 different reference images into a single video, not only making multiple specific characters appear together, but also letting them interact spatially based on your prompts, even fusing their attributes together. Back to the workflow, it's actually not complicated at all. Besides the usual LTX parts, you can see Licon MSR nodes in both the LoRa and image input sections. Since I already had some storyboard images from a previous video, I threw them in to test the storyboard effect. I found it doesn't treat those images as the most important reference. It mainly leans on the first frame and the background image, while the video's direction follows the prompt more closely. Still, the storyboard can produce pretty decent fight videos. In the dragon slaying clip, I also tried feeding in subject images and generated 2 15-second videos. The results were okay, but consistency seemed a bit worse than with the storyboard. The long boots kept turning into short boots in the latter half of those 15 seconds. Not sure if the workflow needs a little more fine-tuning. I'll dig into that later. But part of why storyboards work better is definitely that they describe the relative positions and size relationships of the subjects. For example, in this magic shield scene, the subject image reference placed the shield on the left and the dragon emerging from the right. And in the video I posted last week, where a beauty demonstrates skincare products, the LTX subject reference made the product way too big, so I had to spend extra effort constraining the prompt. Right now, this ready-made node and workflow are already uploaded to RunningHub. Go ahead and give it a try. RunningHub speed at rolling out new nodes is honestly unbeatable. I'll drop both the RunningHub experience link and the project link in the video description. Feel free to play around. What we really need to focus on here is the 50 FPS setting. At standard 24 or 30 FPS, fast-moving objects like a sprinting person, a speeding car, or a sword swinging quickly tend to show ghosting or feel choppy. 50 FPS doubles the visual information per second, so those motion details transition way smoother. With Licon MSR on top, LTX can generate high-speed action without scenes falling apart or characters turning into blurry messes. But when you crank up the speed, the action can feel a bit monotonous within the same duration, because a simple motion description just can't fill the same length anymore. After all, the old LTX leaned more towards slow motion. So after hooking up a large language model, I added rule constraints to the character prompt in the LLM. It judges whether your prompt describes a fast action. If it does, it expands the motion description, and for slow motion parts it barely expands, which fills in the action much more reasonably. Check out this sample without the expanded prompts, just repetitive punching, lacking complexity and plausibility. If you're running locally, try the free Qwen 3.5, or throw my prompt template into an online LLM for expansion. Also, one thing to note, you need to input at least 2 images on the left, the first frame and the background image. It really stresses the background image. If you skip it, the video background will just go totally off script. The result I got this way actually looked pretty cool. But personally, I think because of this, if you feed in reference images from different scenes, it's really hard to pull off a scene change. So when making videos, it makes more sense to use this workflow for segments that share the same setting. But I also discovered through testing that this model is a huge fan of biodiversity. I originally wanted to make a video of a snake chasing a fast-running lizard, but it seems to always blur the line between snakes and lizards, which led to some hilariously absurd results. Maybe we need to give the two creatures more distinct color features in their design to get better results. Alright, that's all for today. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and hit that like button. See you in the next one.